Hello, today I'm going to be talking about that big question, where do I sell my music? You're a composer, you want to make some money, you want to turn this hobby into a business, and it's all well and good writing music, but you need to make some money off of it to live off of it, right? And so we're going to be trying to answer that question. And I'm going to be specifically talking about library music, production music. It's all well and good having the odd big project, but I'm not going to lie, I maybe get a couple big projects a year, if I'm lucky, one a month, and that's sadly not enough to live off. When I talk about big projects, I'm not talking about Hollywood. That would be the dream. I'm talking more like commercial projects with big businesses doing advertisement music for them, basically. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about library music. And these are places I found that are free to use. I think that's a key word here, free. There's so many websites out there that almost charge you to put your music on them. And there's other places where you can submit demos, but they'll take months to get back. When they finally get back to you, it's a no. Still worth submitting demos to them, but still, these are places where you can go today and upload your music. Yes, they will take a percentage of that profit, of that cut, but it's better than you having to pay to put stuff on. I'll also break down how much they take, how much you take, and it's a mix from quite literally. Oh, I don't know what Pond 5 is specifically, but they take quite a bit. From I know one of them is 50% to one where you get to take 88%. And so we'll talk about that as we go through. So anyway, production music, library music, what is it? Basically, you can sit down, write whatever track you feel like, if I'm honest, have a bit of fun, be unique, be you, try not to be a copycat, and then go away. I would always say, especially with the places I'm going to be talking about today, except for two of them. So three out of the two, I would say try and write an album. Have a good, at least 10 tracks. Pick a genre, anything. There's some niche ones that definitely get sales, which are horror and fantasy. At least that's what I found. I know action is a big one too, but with everything I talk about, go away, do some research as well. Look at these marketplaces that I'm going to talk about. See what there is. Try and do something different, but always be yourself and write music that you love and enjoy. This is a business, but at the same time, you want to have some fun with it. So let's stop rambling at a camera and actually go into these places where you can sell your music. Now, we're going to go first off to my favorite, Unreal Engine. It's probably where I make the most money. When I say make money, I'm not talking in the thousands. Maybe someone can get to that point one day. You're not going to be a millionaire in a day. This isn't a quick fix. Put all your tracks on there. It's taken me years to build up a portfolio and to build up a consistent income from these marketplaces. It's not easy. It's very, very competitive. But if it's something you want, you can make it work and eventually get a lot of reward from it. So what I love, I'm going to talk about the pros first, about Unreal Engine and their marketplace, which you can see over here. If we click on the marketplace, actually, you can right there, submit content. And it will take you, well, it's logged me into my profile and you can just instantly see all the libraries I have on there. I haven't got a ton, as you can see, but what you might instantly notice is some pretty pictures, always helpful. And you'll probably see there's quite a bit of music on each of these. Some of my bigger and more popular libraries, Ultimate Music Library 1 and 2, which you can see is up to 12, 11 hours with over 300 tracks. And you can roughly see how I've kind of priced these. Now, what I love about Unreal Engine is when you're uploading, um, and I will do a separate video on the actual process because there is a process. It's not as simple as adding your music. You actually need to go into the engine itself. Unreal 5 is at least where we're at now. That's only just been released. Dump your music in there, create cues, and then you zip it and upload a file along with all the information. But that'll probably go over your head right now. It's okay. I'm going to do a whole video just talking about step by step how to get your product from that WAV file onto Unreal Engine Marketplace. So don't worry about that. We're just going to talk about the pros and cons. Pros, these guys are amazing. You take 88% of your sales, which is really, really good, if I'm honest. I think it's the best one, at least that I sell with, where you take so much. They're really, really quick to get back to you and to actually get the asset once you've submitted it onto the marketplace, because there is a review process. Which only takes, if I'm honest, a couple days. They're really in depth. If you have any problems, they're really quick to communicate, and they're really, really helpful. And I absolutely love working with these guys because of that. They're efficient, and what's really good about their marketplace as well, let's actually go into their marketplace. I'm going to click on one of my products just so you can kind of see at least briefly how I've written it and gone into it. You can see here some nice images. You can briefly see how it looks within Unreal Engine. Lovely little breakdown. Now, with regards to demos, this is where YouTube or SoundCloud, or preferably your own website, comes in really handy, because if you can see here, well, I got a lot of audio there, and so SoundCloud wouldn't really work for me. I created my own little sort of demo page on my own website. So when you actually click on it, you can go through and view watermarked demos of all the tracks. And so that's really handy to have. It's a lot of work, but it's very much worth it. And what I love, absolutely love about these guys, if we go to browse, go to music, and actually you look, sort by, there's no top product. And some marketplaces are really much push the best product first, and it's always at the top, and it can be really hard to get the top of the list. They always, as soon as you click on music, it's the newest first, and you're on this page for a little bit because of the review process, and surprisingly, there's not like people aren't rushing to the scene, so your music can be on the front page for quite a while, so it gets a lot of clicks, gets a lot of views. And another thing I love about them, every month they're doing sales. Every month I get an email saying submit a product for a sale at 50% off, 10% off, etc. Sometimes they'll even do, you can submit all your products at different percentages, different sales. And the sales are absolutely amazing. That's where I make a lot of my money, is actually on the sales. And so price accordingly. Maybe put a little bit more on, because when it comes to the sales, you will sell. But I love these guys. They've really helped build my confidence in my music. And as I said, I wouldn't sell individual tracks on here. I would sell bundles. You can just see right here some bundles, but have a look on Unreal Engine, on the marketplace. Do some research yourself. I'd highly recommend this place for selling your music. So that's the first one, and my absolute favorite. Second, we're going to go to one I really don't like, but it is a good place to sell music. Again, it's another, and actually what you'll probably find, a lot of these places, at least 3 of these I'm talking about, are video game or animation sort of asset stores. Which sometimes can get overlooked when you think of production and library music. You're thinking of these, like Universal Studio production music sort of sites. Don't forget about the video games. It's a huge market for music, which is why I was kind of saying horror and fantasy, because a lot of people are making those sort of games these days. So, Unity. I don't like this one because you get kind of the samey ones at the top. There's a lot of people kind of uploading, and your music can easily be thrown at the bottom. I don't get too many sales off of these guys. It's another one where you need to download Unity itself and upload your music through that. Oh, quick mention about Unreal Engine. Make sure you've got a laptop with a bit of juice and a lot of storage, because, and this is probably what deters a lot of people, Unreal Engine 5 is about 32 gigabytes large. Not only that, I know on a Mac, I have to download a specific bit of software as well. I cannot remember what it's called for the life of me. Only X, that's what it's called. And so I need Only X in order to get into Unreal Engine, and that I think as well is like 18 gigabytes. So I'm looking at nearly 50 gigabytes, if not over, of stuff I have to download in order to upload um, and create these assets, which can be quite hefty, especially if you've not got a lot of storage on your laptop and it's not got a lot of juice. But if anything, that's going to deter some people. But if you really want to go for it, it's just one of those things. Unity's a bit lighter, it's not as heavy, a bit nicer on the computer, but still you've got to go through their engine and put your music in there and upload it as an asset. Here, simply go down, you can see here, sell assets, submission guidelines, sell assets. This is probably going to log me into my, okay, no, good. I'll do another video on Unity and how to go through that. They have done a new thing which I actually quite like, which has been really helpful, is when you first publish your asset, you can do 25% off, 50% off, and I find from that little bit at the beginning, and you can make it last up to 2 weeks, that sale, you get quite a lot of sales in that first little rush, and then after that, it can get a bit bogged down. You can post free stuff, and what I have done to attract attention is put you can do like a single track and sell that as a free asset. It's a good teaser, and people might then go on to buy bigger products. So you can do a free light version and then do the full-blown paid product. That is an idea for Unity that I've used that has worked with regards to selling music. So great place. Again, I'll do another video on how best, on how to upload music to this marketplace. And I'll go through that whole process. So moving on to the next one, it's the game dev market. Nice little place for multiple different types of assets, but specifically we are looking at music. Let's just click on ambient, and you can see here lots of little products. Oh, what you'll find as well with all of these, yes, this one as well, you get your money in dollars. So when you actually get paid, it's in dollars. I know with Unity, no matter how much you earn, even if it's as little as a couple of dollars, they'll pay it to you at the end of the month. Unreal Engine, they wait for a minimum of $100 of you actually taking. So after they've taken their share, if there's over 100 left, they'll send it to you. And these guys, a minimum of 25, and then you can take it out whenever you want. Of course, there's a little process once you click take out my money, but once that's done, you'll get that in the bag. Now, listing new assets, because I'll walk it through here. It's very simple. All you got to do: asset title, category, little product description, genre, etc., etc. And then after that, you need to, I don't think it'll let me continue. No, not without filling it in. So once you've put all that information in, you can put a maximum promotional discount. They do sales now and then. As far as I'm aware, they don't really notify you, because I wasn't notified on the last sale. I just kind of suddenly realized, oh, I sold all of the products. I was like, oh, okay, at a discounted price. But I guess that's what that is for, setting the max. You want them to discount it off when they do sales. When you come to upload it, make sure it's a zip file. Key thing to note, no larger than 5 gigabytes. If it is, you need to contact them and send them a zip file either through, well, pick your drive. I personally use Google Drive, and they just ask for WAV files. Something, again, I keep adding these little bits in between. I'm just saying it as it comes. There's a lot to talk about. They generally don't like, and this applies to every single one I'm talking about, yeah. They like the quality of the music to be at 44.1 hertz and 16 bits. You'll notice that they'll put it on everything as well when you're uploading. Make sure you do it at this quality, and they make a note of it when you actually go onto the version details and zip file. Makes it a bit smaller, which is nice. But that's generally the standard I found throughout all of these, as far as I'm aware. Yeah. Right. We're going to move on from game dev market, and we're going to go on to one which I will probably talk more about in another video. Now this looks almost a little sketchy, and I came across this website when I was doing a lot of research and digging into different production libraries. Now we're moving away from video game and animation sort of assets and into actual library production music for bigger things. Now this company, Tribe and Noise, take 50% of the profits. I forgot to mention it. Unity take 30%, so you take home 70. And game dev market is roughly about this, you take about 70% as well. But the difference with Tribe of Noise is it's individual tracks now, and I actually don't have a lot of tracks on here. I think I have 17. They're very fussy. If you actually look at, if we go to music and upload music, they have, they've slightly changed this. They have a place where you can put it up for free, and sometimes they'll put it, the music supervisors will move it to an in-store music channel where people will pay, or there's the pro version where you upload your tracks and you can put up to 15 tracks at a time. And of course, they ask for the specific WAV, and they don't like the 24-bit, so the 44.1 and the 16-bit. And you've got to sign unexclusive disclaimer, and all of these sites that I'm talking about, unexclusive, so you can quite literally put the same track on every single marketplace here and nobody will care two hoots, and then they will review it. They're quite fussy, but the rewards are quite big because these guys sell multiple different licenses, and if we actually look, they have 3, 4, 5 technically, I guess. They've got this new NFT one as well, different price points. And this is dependent on the project. There you go, they offer 4 licenses, technically 5, I guess. I'll talk about that later. And this is individual tracks. So as you can probably read, the bronze is 45, and that's for your really basic stuff, your independent film, YouTube, Facebook, podcast sort of thing. Your silver is your national advertisements or broadcast. So broadcast within Britain or a broadcast within America, so national. And then if you're going international, you can get up to 918 euros for a single track. Now, remember that, Mark, this one's in euros, not in dollars. So wherever you are, that can be beneficial or not. Again, with these guys, you have to make a minimum of 100 euros for you to actually pull it out. And don't forget, these guys also take 50%. So if you have an international advertisement, you're only going to take half of that. But then again, for a single track, I'm not going to lie, that's big. That's some big money, and that's for library music, you've written and just uploaded. And I know with these guys, I don't make a lot of sales, but when I do make a sale, these are the big bucks. But not only that, I find that these guys, their pricing, I've kind of matched that with when I'm actually working independently. For example, I work closely with another media company that I helped founded, and with them, every time they use one of my tracks, they pay me £40 per track, at least for independent film. The smaller stuff, of course, if it was bigger, I would charge more. And so when you're going away, and this is a great thing, if you can independently talk to media companies and offer them your library music or offer them your music in general, this is a great foundation for how much is your music actually worth. And of course, if you're doing a track that is exclusive, you're going to want to charge a bit more because that's your own time and you're never going to be able to use that track again. But as a foundation, these prices really help me gauge the right amount to charge people when it comes to music. That's Tribe of Noise. Really nice little company, free to upload, really helpful guy actually who runs this. I've emailed him a couple times with regards to different bits and bobs. It looks like a bit of a sketchy website when you first go into it, but they're great and they're really quite good at getting your music out there. I kind of just passively uploaded stuff and I was very surprised at the results I got from them. So do give it a go. So let's move on to our final one, Pond 5. Not the biggest fan of them, but they're worth mentioning. These guys take 50% as well, but it's not as nice as Tribe of Noise, as their prices are very basic, 45, 500 and what? 49 and 918. These guys are, music starts from $5, euros, whatever, to 40s plus. And if you're only taking 50% of that, and I don't get too many sales with these guys, surprisingly, as well. It's more about mass, so putting on a lot of music and hopefully getting a lot out. Again, it's very hit and miss and the odd sale, and they do take such a huge amount, and it's a minimum of $25 before you can take out. Again, there's kind of a niche way of naming the music here as well. What I like I keep comparing kind of to Tribe of Noise, is you upload it and then they do all the work. They list it, they add all the tags and stuff. With these guys, you kind of have to really go in, add your own tags. As you can kind of see, there's a certain way people can name things on here as well that I found you really have to kind of get into it, like corporate motivational background, brackets, calm, optimism, uplifting. Because people, when they really go on here, if you're just going to call your music the morning after and leave no sort of details, people are going to be like, they're kind of looking for something very specific. I want some motivational, action-packed music. And so you can kind of see how people name things, and the pricings over here. As I said, I'm not the biggest fan because it's a lot of work for very little yield. While somewhere like Tribe and Noise, you upload it, you send off the non-disclaimer document, and then they kind of deal with everything and you don't have to worry. Unreal Engine and Unity, there's quite a lot of background works. You need to go into the engines and put stuff. But I find with those, if you put the work in, you gain the yield back. Of course, there's more places than I've just talked about. There's hundreds of different production libraries out there, and it's definitely worth sending off your demos to them, and fingers crossed, one day they'll reply and say, yes, we want you on board. But as a starting point, of course, once you've gone away, written some music, get it on some of these places. Get it on YouTube, get it on SoundCloud, put those demos up, and really build up a portfolio. Especially with Unreal Engine and Unity. Think specifics. I want to make a project, just ambient music. I want to do just fantasy music. And then after you've made that and that album and you've uploaded it, go submit all those tracks to Tribe of Noise. Go stick them all on Unity. Go stick them all on Game Dev Market. Work smarter, not harder. With that one album, you can stick that on 5 or 6 different places. And you can bet you're going to get sales on all of them. At the end of the day, yes, you're a composer, but you're also a businessman. And if you want to make money, this is a great place to start. And this is where I started. And what am I, 3 or 4 years down the road, I'm really starting to see the results of my labors. It's not easy. You're not going to be a millionaire tomorrow, but it's definitely worth it. But thank you for watching. I hope this has helped. Leave a comment if you want me to go into more detail about any of this. As I keep saying, I will go make videos on uploading to Unity and Unreal Engine. But other than that, I think the rest are kind of self-explanatory. If you're already quite an established composer, let me know where you submit your music. If you've got any other tips or tricks or other places that you found have been really good and really helpful, and where you've gotten sales. But thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.